Geekazine and Geek Smack is a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network over at techpodcast.com. If it's tech, then it's here.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is the geekiest of smacks, the Geek Smack, where we smack the geek out of tech and smack the geek out of geek like we would with William Shatner trying to make an album or something like that. We got a lot of great news. Of course, we're going to talk Apple. Of course, we're going to hold the Midnight Vigil also for iOS 5 and a whole bunch more. So we got a lot of great news. Stick around. We're brought to you by our friends over at Roku. Get yourself a Roku player starting at now $49. And they just announced that. We'll talk about that in the news. Of course, you go over to geekazine.com/Roku. That helps us out there. Go to Meeting with HD Faces. Remember to go to GoToMeeting.com, click the Try It Free Now button, and enter the code podcast. Stitcher, if you go over to Stitcher.com/geek, it looks like they just updated the iPhone app there. Look on the picture at least. And you can win yourself $100. And then, of course, Telestream. We do all our video recording through Telestream, Wirecast by Telestream, so you can do all this cool little stuff like this little screen light here, me going like this. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's get into your Geek Smack right now. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the geekiest of smacks, the Geek Smack Show, which happens every single Tuesday at the Geekazine, or geekazine.com. www.geekazine is where you need to go, what you need to do, how you need to work it all out. That is the beautiful thing about recording a show, is I can put it onto a website, and then you can go consume it. You can also consume it via Roku, a Boxy, an Apple TV, Google TV, you could do the caveman thing, send some smoke signals. I don't know. You can subscribe to the show notes because we got show notes everywhere over on geekazine.com. Just go over to www.geekazine.com and you can get all that good stuff. Of course, we're also up on iTunes. We're up on Zune. We're up on Feedburner. We're up on, where else are we up on? We're up on Mediafly. That's another one. There's tons of places that you can get us. And we're also up on Stitcher, which we're going to talk about in a few minutes here. Wow, what a week it has been. I mean, the news stopped after Wednesday, and then it started back up again yesterday. And everybody was just on shock. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later. And I know you're gonna go, oh my God, another tribute. But we've got to go through it. So that's going to be at the end. So if you don't want to hear it, last 5 minutes, time to turn it off. But I hope you do stick around, and I can talk about some things here. But anyway, first of all, I want to tell you the Day in Tech History. Last week, of course, we moved the Day in Tech History off of Geekazine, gave it its own website, www.dayintechhistory.com, and you guys have been going to the website. I thank you very much. Today, we've had the most visits that we've had in the last 11 days. Over at dayintechhistory.com. Of course, it was a big event because Dan Bricklin brought out VisiCalc for the first time back in 1979. So, very important day in tech history, but we've got a lot of great stuff coming up in the future in tech history as well. Of course, the Day in Tech History Kickstarter, we've got less than or a little bit more than a week left in the Kickstarter to raise some cash so we can go ad-free over on dayintechhistory.com. Please, I know you might think to yourself, oh, I don't want to donate, I got my own financial troubles and stuff like that, but I really, really need to take this to the next level. I need to bring somebody on to help me with this stuff, or else I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, I'm running out of cash here. The return is not there. I need to build this site up so I can do that, and I need help to build it up. So I implore you, go over to geekazine.com/Kickstarter. That'll take you right there. Geekazine.com/Kickstarter. I plead, please, let's get this done. If the more I have, as little as $1 you can donate. So, okay, I'm done begging, but I really, if you're watching this now and you haven't gone over there, please go over there. Just check it out. If you decide not to do anything from there, that's fine. You checked it out. But as little as $1 to donate, and you're helping out me collecting tech history, which I've done for the last 5 years, and it's tough work. I still got a lot of ways to go, so I'm like Sisyphus going up a hill. Hey, I am going to Blog World New Media Expo. You're saying to yourself, wait a minute, you're asking for money and you tell me you're going on a trip. Well, yes and no. I'm going with Stitcher, the folks over at Stitcher. They're helping me pay my way to get there. And of course, I'm going to be manning their Stitcher booth. And of course, for podcasters and bloggers, they can come in, we can do a little cut 3 to 5 minute interview. They move on, and then of course we go from there. So Stitcher, I'm going to be working a little bit closer with Stitcher on some stuff. You'll hear some things back and forth. You might have seen it up on Geekazine, the partnership. But I will be at Blog World New Media Expo, Los Angeles, November 3rd through the 5th. So check me out over there. And then finally, of course, Consumer Electronics Show. That's where we plop all our money into. And of course, last year we had a great time with the booth, and we're gonna do it again. We still need sponsors, so please let me know. Geekazine@gmail.com. You can also Twitter me at Geekazine. And of course, anytime, any questions you have, you can do that there. Now I've done a lot for that. We're at 6-minute mark. Let's get into your tech smack for today.
Tech smack.
All right, hey, hold on, everything's going backwards. Let's do this. We're looking for this one right here. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into your tech smack toot sweep. Got the bar. Just keep forgetting about that bar. Why do we keep forgetting about that bar? Because I got a lot to do. Anyway, how you doing? Jeffrey Powers here. We're in your tech smack right now, and we're going to start over on PCMag.com. Tonight is the candle vigil at midnight. We're all going to be waiting for iOS 5 to come down the pipes. And actually, it won't be midnight. I bet you it will be 2 o'clock in the morning right here, so I'll have to wait another 2 hours. But we'll light out all our candles and wait for iOS 5 to come down. Did you download your 10.5 yet on iTunes? I just did that about a couple hours before I started the show. So it's so far so good. I brought everything back, no problems whatsoever. Can't wait for iOS 5. That's what I was really going for, but apparently that didn't happen. So gonna have to wait a little bit longer, but you'll be able to get iOS 5 and the Siri and all that stuff. Now they had some downloads. Apparently people put the Golden Masters, or basically the release to manufacturing files out on the internet, and you could have downloaded it and loaded it up early. I decided to wait until this magic moment when we have the candlelight vigil and have some and do that then. So, but iOS 5 coming right down the land there. You can check that out all out. If you need any more information, you can go over to this article over on PCMag.com. All right, Windows 8 to reduce memory usage, and you're going to yourself, what? Well, yeah, of course. Every time you put in a brand new operating system, you try to reduce this, reduce that. Microsoft tweaking memory in Windows 8 to help with the physical RAM. Okay. It's the latest building in their blog, and it basically says, yeah, we can make it run a little bit faster and take a little bit less memory. And then, of course, they put in some big program that really doesn't matter anyway. Am I dissing Microsoft? Not in the least. But the thing is, this is still in beta, and beta is beta. And until the final release comes out and they say Windows 8, here it is, and it does reduce memory usage, then I'll be happy. But right now, it's just one of those things that we read about. And if you want to read about it, you can go over to cnet.com. All right, there's a new program called AT&T Toggle. And apparently what it does is it's for Android phones. It'll toggle so you have your business phone, and then it'll toggle back so it'll be like a personal phone. So you don't mix business with pleasure at all. So if you snap those funky Facebook pictures of you drunk and lying in a toilet or something like that, it's not going to get over to the business side or something like that. I don't know. Anybody that can't separate work from play, I suppose, there you go. AT&T Toggle to go from there. Lets you keep two completely separate profiles on the Android device and switch back and forth from there. But of course, you got to remember to switch it back and forth. And I'm assuming there's going to be some little bits and pieces where, it'll at 5 o'clock, it'll switch back from your business to your personal. But yeah, I don't know. Is this worth it? Does anybody see a reason for this? I mean, I've used my phone for business and for personal for over 13 years, and I've never had a need to have a toggle switch for it. If you do have a reason, let me know. Twitter me at Geekazine, or geekazine@gmail.com is the email address. Can read more about this up on Mashable.com. All right, airlines apparently are not feeling the crunch, and they feel that we've got to get this Wi-Fi into our airlines, so we can suck people out of $12, an extra $12 every time that they fly on an airline. Which I don't know. Is it me? Shouldn't Wi-Fi, shouldn't that be free? I mean, I just don't understand that. It's not like they're paying outrageous prices for getting the Wi-Fi to begin with. So, and the tickets that I buy, I just paid $520 to go from here to LA. Well, like I said, Stitcher paid for it, but the bottom line is that that it's $522. There should be something in there, and then of course you got the upgrade fees, and then you got cancellation fees, and then you got the extra baggage fees, and then you got and I'd love to go Southwest, but the reality is Southwest isn't in my airport, so I can't do it. In order for me to fly Southwest, I need to take a plane to go to an airport that has Southwest, and then I got to go through like a 2-stop or a 1-stop or 2-stop in some cases. So it doesn't help me to fly Southwest. So with that said, it is what it is, was what it was, so on and so forth. But it's good to see that the airlines are really concerned about Wi-Fi, but if the Wi-Fi is $12 and I'm in a coach seat that has a seat back that's like that far away from me, I can't even open up my laptop anyway. My phone, yeah, I suppose I could download something, listen to some music or some movies or something like that. But in all reality, I have that all loaded up before I get on the plane. So anyway, let me know what you think, if you like it, if you don't like it. If you ride in coach, it's probably going to be a dream. You're probably going to be on Google Plus all the time doing a hangout saying, yeah, I'm up in 35,000 feet in the hangout. Yeah, booyah. I don't know. Let me know. This is over on WSJ, WallStreetJournal.com. Of course, this is not a fully free site, so you might have to register to get the full article. Over on GigaOM there, or GigaOM, whatever you want to call it, however you want to say it, and however you want to do it, the Roku 2 LT. Now, what this is like the $59 model, except I guess it doesn't have the buttons to even play the simple games on it. It's got 720p to it, and there's no Ethernet port, and there's no USB port. It is Wi-Fi, full Wi-Fi BGN, and you can, it's $49. So, which I think is a great thing. I mean, think about it. I mean, $49, it's half the price of an Apple TV. It's got a great library on it. I will swear up and down, and that's why that's one of my sponsors. That's why it's one of my sponsors, because I love it so much. It's a great little box to have. And it's only $49, and like I said, half the price of an Apple TV. So I could see people buying these things, giving them to mom and dad, who really don't care if Angry Birds are on this box. They just want to watch Netflix, or now Epix, and HBO Go, which was just announced today. So, and with the HBO Go, you still need a cable connection. You still need the HBO service. Eventually, that's going to go away, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to go away. It really is. Trust me on that. It will go away. So, but with this little box, by Christmas time, I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of these little boxes. A lot of Rokus out there. A lot of people watching their over-the-top television on these little boxes too. So that is a great move by Roku. I congratulate them. I hope that this does really well, because I support this box. This is a great box to get. Of course, the $99 model, it's $99, and it's got Angry Birds, plus it's got the USB port, plus it's got a mini SD card in the back, so you can expand on the memory, so you can play more games or watch more movies, stuff like that. So you can get that from there. But if you want to read more on this, go over to gigaom.com. All right, last part of the tech area will get you over to Geek, Smack, Crap, so on and so forth, blah, 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 blah. And then, of course, get you in the show. LinkedIn is buying a real-time search startup, and you're saying to yourself, ooh, LinkedIn is going into the Google business? Well, maybe not exactly. They bought a search engine called Index Tank, which is a pretty new search engine out there. They have hosted search technology. They did it for an undisclosed amount, so they have another search engine. They had a search engine in LinkedIn, but now they needed another search engine, so you could they can index things a little bit better. Just a new algorithm. So it's not, like I said, it's not going to be a Google killer. In fact, a lot of search engines aren't geared to what Google does. In fact, Google and Microsoft, Bing, both get these other search engines to help them out. Like, for instance, a year or two ago, we talked about Wolfram Alpha. I don't know if you remember that one. That was a search engine that was basically a scientific one. So if you asked a question like, do a conversion between kilograms and pounds, it would give you an answer. What is 350 million divided by 72? It would give you an answer. Things like that. You have ask.com, which isn't really a search engine. It's more, well, it is a search engine, but it's a question and answer engine. So you ask, what's the capital of Wisconsin? And it can tell you that. Where's the Louvre in France? And then it'll tell you that. So you have different types of search engines, and then you have search engines using those other search engines to working in. That's where Index Tank comes in. They have a search engine linked and has a business, I call it a business engine, because this is more geared towards the business professional, if anything. So they put that together and they have a better business engine to work with. So pretty interesting stuff. This article is over on Mashable.com. If you have any questions, any answers, any comments, or anything like that, of course, if you do have any comments, or if you'd like to comment on the fact that I'm doing an Ian Anderson right now and you don't even notice that, I'm standing on one leg. I don't know why. Twitter me at Geekazine or email me at geekazine@gmail.com. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, now it's time for an awkward pause. And now it's time. We'll get into your Geek Smack crap in a second. But first, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about meeting with anybody anywhere, just like we're doing right now, except I'm just talking to you and you're listening. There's programs out there that you can get that will actually let you have a successful meeting, and you can meet with people. You can show off your screen. You can control your screen. They can control your screen. You can control their screen. You can see their screen. There's a whole bunch of stuff there. And then, of course, we have what's called HD faces, which is like smiling faces like myself, except there's more of us and we can talk back and forth. That way, if there's a problem, I can go, hey, wait a minute, do you have is there an issue that we need to figure out and discuss or whatnot, and get problems resolved that much quicker. And that's the beauty of a program like GoToMeeting by Citrix and with HD Faces. It's a way to meet online. It's a way to see people face to face. It's a way to see their desktop, to basically desktop face to face right there. It's a great program to put into your IT business toolbox. So put it in now. Put it in for 30 days on me. All you have to do is go over to gotomeeting.com, click the Try It Free Now button, and remember that code podcast. Remember, gotomeeting.com, click the Try It Free Now button, enter in that code podcast, and that'll get you 30 days of this great software. Use it all the time. I don't have any problems. The last 4 years, I don't think there's ever been a problem that GoToMeeting couldn't handle. And that's the best part. So try it out for yourself, 30 days. Try it free now, enter in the code podcast, and see what's so great about GoToMeeting. Geek Smack Crap. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, now it's time for that thing we call the Geek Smack Crap. This, during the month of October, we call it Ween Smack Crap. What does that mean? That means we're going to be highlighting Halloween, and this is my costume for today. It's a silly hat, hot dog hat. How you doing? Would you like a hot dog? Hey. Anyway, that was what was close by. I forgot to grab the mask I was going to use. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's get into your Geek Smack Crap. First of all, hey, I never even thought of using decorating a bathroom with Halloween stuff. I mean, it was always the front yard, it was always the doors, it was always the windows, it was always the interior of the house, sometimes the basement, but never the bathroom. And that's why this first one is actually pretty interesting. What it is, this is over on Amazon.com, this is the Halloween toilet paper holder. Halloween toilet paper holder, and it's not showing the picture. Let's do this, let's see if that works. No, that didn't work either. Gotta fix that a little bit, but anyway. It's basically a skull that holds your toilet paper. And I don't know. I mean, would you replace your toilet paper holder with this toilet paper holder, or is this on a stand or something like that? But apparently there's a whole bunch of Halloween toilet paper or bathroom items, including little stickies you put on top of the top seat that look like there's something in the toilet bowl, and windows decals, and then doors to show skeletons sitting on the toilet and stuff like that. But this is, I'm impressed that I didn't even think of that myself. $18.99 over on Amazon.com. Can't go wrong there, so check it all out. Of course, go over to the geekazine.com, click on the show notes, and that'll show you how to get there. I love the Peanuts. The Peanuts that grew up on the Peanuts characters, Charles Schultz. And of course, I grew up on Lunchbox, metal lunchboxes. Myself, I had an Adam 12 metal lunchbox. But this one, I'm very impressed. And the price is actually pretty good. It's the Happy Halloween Peanuts lunchbox. It comes with the thermos. It's only $23.95. Now think about it. How many of you, as you were growing up, said to yourself, that would have been the awesomest thing to have is a Peanuts lunchbox? Now, of course, Adam 12 was pretty awesome to have too. So, but it didn't have the thermos because that was a hand-me-down in a lunchbox. And then, of course, I just damaged the whole thing because I was a kid. But anyway, fresh, clean paint, everything, can't go wrong there. Happy Halloween from the Peanuts. Now, if that doesn't impress you, there is this one thing that will most likely scare the bejesus out of you. And that is getting a mask made of your own face. To the point where it's exactly, you can see the pores. If you got a pimple on that day, it's going to show that pimple. I think. I don't know. That's what they're saying. It's a company in Japan, and I don't know the name. I think it's called Real F is what it's called, from what I understand. And basically what it does is it makes a complete mask of you. And then, of course, you can get one. You can get multiple one. The first mask that you get is going to cost you, I think it was 450,000 yen. Came out to $5,850 in U.S. currency. So it's not the cheapest thing. And then, of course, any masks that you get after that are going to be a lot cheaper and a lot better than that one. So I don't know. Would you get yourself your own mask of you? You could say, hey, look, I don't know. I think if I was trying to be the Bionic from the Bionic Man, the robot from the Bionic Man, I can't remember his name right now. That would be cool, because then I could face paint the bionic gears on my face, and then I could put that mask over my face so you could see me, and then I just take it right off. That would be cool. So, but anyway, that's your Geek Smack crap, your Ween Smack crap, and yeah, that is the hat right there. Stop dreaming, start streaming. I like that idea. It's the all-new Roku 2. Ladies and gentlemen, I have myself a Roku 2. And I replaced my old Roku for the new Roku because a lot of different reasons, but the biggest one was Angry Birds. Yeah, I could actually play Angry Birds off of that. And the remote control, which is connected to the Roku 2, lets me use that as a game device. I can play a lot of other games too. There's a lot of cool games. They just came out with some new channels too. If you're a professional wrestling fan, for example, they have TNA Extreme Action, and of course, if you're in the politics thing, then Glenn Beck Channel is one for you. If you're a kid, then hey, the Disney Channel, which was just announced on Roku. This is all over on Roku, and you can check it out. All you have to do is go over to geekazine.com/Roku, geekazine.com/Roku, and of course that'll help the Geekazine, Geek Smack products. And of course, get yourself a Roku streaming system for as little as $59. Of course, if you want the Angry Birds, it's going to be the $99 model, but you'll be able to do a whole bunch of stuff. Watch Netflix, watch Amazon, watch the Tech Podcast Network, which I just happen to be on. Watch a lot of stuff, play a lot of great games, and that's over at Roku. So get yourself a Roku by going over to geekazine.com/Roku. And of course, like I said, it helps the Geek Smack Show and all Geekazine properties.
Geek Smack.
All right, now it's time to get into the geekish of the smackish of the geekish of the smash. Let's Geek Smack right now. And we're going to start over at geekazine.com because I wanted to show you this. I created it today. It's the line of a zombie. What? No, it actually says timeline of the zombie, but I didn't have that all. Let me undo that so that you can see the whole thing. Anyway, it's timeline of the zombie. And basically what it is a full timeline of what happens when you get bit by a zombie, what happens to you. So basically within 48 hours you become the zombie of being bit, and then you get reanimated. And then what happens there? In all reality, I found out something really interesting. And basically this is all comes from the fact that I was watching The Walking Dead this weekend because it was on Netflix on the AMC show. And I thought to myself, well, what do you do to survive a zombie apocalypse? I mean, because you can't kill everybody. I did the math. You'd actually have to kill about 100,000 zombies a day to take back at least the United States, because 600 million zombies coming after you eventually is tough. Because then I started thinking to myself, well, first of all, you get a small town, and then you secure the small town. And then you work your way out, and then eventually you go in and you just torch other towns and kill them. But the reality is, a zombie apocalypse, the zombie won't last at the most in the lower 48, 2 years. Which means if they're up in Greenland, they could get frozen in the ice and they could live forever. But in the temperatures here, as long as they're not sitting in a basement or something like that, they're pretty much, within 120 days, you can pretty much then take them, shoot them, and then throw them in the fire and get rid of them. So, I don't know. It's pretty interesting. If you want to check out the whole infographic, you can go over to geekazine.com and check that out. William Shatner. I don't know. What's with William Shatner and I want to sing? I don't get this. William Shatner wants to do Seeking Major Tom. So I don't know. It's a full-length album. Came out the other day, and it's got a whole bunch of remakes by William Shatner. So it's just like Golden Throats, if you remember Golden Throats. If you didn't know what Golden Throats was, now you have an idea, because here it is, William Shatner Seeking Major Tom, with a lot of cool stuff. For you music geeks out there, I don't know if you're a music geek, if that makes the difference or not, but it is what it is. So. And that's over on Wired.com. I had a little squeak come from here. There it is. That's a squeak. Yeah. Anyway. Hi, I'm Elmo. I remember when Elmo first came out, and I was like, gosh, that's going to ruin Sesame Street. It did the exact opposite. The guy whose name, Ken, what was his name? Ken something or other. Kevin Clash, just loved Muppets, and he wanted to be a puppeteer himself. And so he created his own puppets. My understanding is he didn't create Elmo, but he made Elmo famous. And he created Elmo to be the character of love. And I think that's where everything comes back to, this Elmo being so popular. It's because Elmo is a character of love other than anything else. There was a Sundance movie out there on Kevin, and it was an award-winning documentary. It's called Being Elmo, A Puppeteer's Journey. And I'm actually going to go check this out, because I'm very, very interested to see if this is... I'm assuming it's out already. I haven't heard about this movie. Of course, it is an independent movie, so you can check that out. But really cool for all you puppeteer geeks, for all you Sesame Street geeks, and puppet geeks, and Elmo geeks for that matter. There you go. BusinessUsual.net for that news article. Before Netscape, we had a whole bunch of other web browsers, and it all started back with the Next Step, when Tim Berners-Lee actually created the first web browser on the Next Step computer. And we had so many other ones. There's a really cool article over on Ars Technica for some of you history geeks out there, of the different web browsers that were out there, like the CERN browser, as we're seeing here. We have the Erwise, ERWISE browser. We had the Viola web browser, and all these other different browsers that were part of the first web experience, and they were basic web 2.0, or 1, I'm sorry, not even, probably 1.0, I guess you could call it. browsers. So if you want to check that out, it's over at arstechnica.com. All right, you Blizzard geeks over there. All of a sudden, the Blizzard's saying, hey, we're going to be selling World of Warcraft Gold through what's called the Guardian Club. Now, I'm not a big World of Warcraft fan, so I'm not exactly sure how this is working, but my understanding is they're basically saying it's okay to buy things that were normally illegal in ways to buy, I mean, selling gold and stuff like that. But they're going to open it up a little bit, and they're going to give you some opportunity to not do anything silly or stupid or anything like that, and to maybe make some money off your gold. This, like I said, I'm not a World of Warcraft in the World of Warcraft, but it's something where some of you can actually get some, not profit or something like that, but just be on top of. So, as you can see from my little bit of fumbling, that I'm not a World of Warcraft person. I played World of Warcraft. I played World of Warcraft before it became an online sensation. And, of course, I've played Blizzard games too. But, gaming is just, it's one of those things that I don't get too much of a chance to do. And if I did it, then I'd feel guilty because I didn't get anything done. Kind of weird. But anyway, this is over at geekygadgets.com for all you gamer geeks. Finally, for all you AT geeks, and of course, if you were on Google Plus, you probably saw this 1,000 times. So I'm going to show it to you 1,001 time here. And basically, this is the dog's name. What was the dog's name? Rolo. Yeah, his name's Rolio Iglesias. And he's got his own Facebook page, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, the dog has its own Facebook page. He's a greyhound. And of course, somebody dressed him up like an AT. And, there's a cute one. So basically, these pictures have been circulating the web back and forth. And, of course, the Facebook page. Let's go over to the Facebook page really quick. And you can see Bones Mellow, the AT&T, the AT dog, not AT&T, the AT dog. And, of course, they're showing how they put together the AT dog parts. So they're going to go on from there. So if you want to like that page, that's where you go. Bones Mellow, the AT dog. At the dog. At dog. Anyway, that comes to the end of Geek Smack. We're going to get you into the special subject. Of course, we're going to be talking about Apple here. But first of all, we got to talk tech. We'll be right back. Geek Smack is also brought to you by Stitcher. The audio version is over on Stitcher. Go over to stitcher.com/geek. Stitcher.com/geek. Enter in your email address. Download the application for your Apple, your Android, your BlackBerry, your WebOS. Well, soon, no WebOS. But anyway, you can download that and you get a chance to win $100. It's all from Stitcher and Geekazine, so go over to geekazine.com/geek, enter in your email address, and download this great way to listen to all your podcasts in a mobile way over at Stitcher.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, finally, of course, everybody's been talking about it, October 5th, 2011. Steve Jobs, about 3 o'clock, Steve Jobs passed away, 56 years old, started in 1955. Now, I created an infographic, which, of course, I updated and put up on the Day in Tech History, which a lot of you have seen already. It is basically an infographic of Steve Jobs' life, detailing everything from 1955 to 2011. And once the book comes out, then I'll put the correct date on the book. I didn't want to put the book on there just yet because if there's any delays now, or if they decide to go back and do some rewrites to make sure that everything is correct, then they can do that. But it's been a really interesting week. A lot of people have been talking about how Steve Jobs has affected their lives, how Apple has affected their lives, what he has done. What I was going to do, I had to dig this. I was going to dig this out of storage. I completely forgot. But I have this poster. And this poster was a poster I made back in the 80s. And basically, when I was in high school, we had what they call it. I forgot the name of it, but basically, it's a Fine Arts Week. That's what they called it. And during Fine Arts Week, we had an Apple Macintosh 2. and the computer professor had a camera hooked up to the Macintosh 2. And so we got to scan in people's faces, which was really cool. Now, it wasn't the fastest of technologies, it wasn't the best of technologies, but it came out with some great results, especially when people moved for the camera, because you had to pretty much stand still for about 30 seconds for it to do a scan, because it would actually do a vertical scan like that. And so I took some of the mistakes and I actually made movie posters out of them, and I printed them up, and I kept a couple of them. And there was one big one that I always did. It was called Attack of the Vacuum Cleaners, because it would always be like one side of the face was really mushed down, and so the Attack of the Vacuum Cleaners was trying to suck up the people, and I made movie posters out of them. And I did that for a little while in the 80s, and I had a lot of fun with that. So my Apple experience went way before that. I used to use Apple IIs playing Ultima 3, Ultima 4, and one of the biggest games that I've played as a kid. Of course, other programs and stuff like that. So, but I lived in computers. I started with a VIC-20 and moved on, and we had IBM PCs. I never had an Apple IIe. Never had a Macintosh. I have my original G4 back here, and then of course I got my MacBook Pro right here. I got my iPhone in my pocket. So it's been, it's technologies that have changed because of one man, that being Steve Jobs. I mean, think about it. If it wasn't for that, I'd probably still be on my Windows phone, my 8125, if you can remember when I had that. The MacBook Pro wouldn't be as green as it is right now. I mean, it's mercury free, it's PVC free, it's a lot more free, mercury free than this laptop right here. That's right here. So there's a lot of changes, and that's why we celebrate such a life right there, 56 years, and you see the pictures, and you see the groundswell, the overswelling of people's emotions on that. So they have a lot of great stuff coming up. I know I read this article. Basically, they released the death certificate this morning, and they said that he passed away at about 3 o'clock, and I think that's Pacific time. So we found out pretty much right after he passed that happened. So they didn't wait a couple hours or anything like that we know of. So, and then of course TNT is going to be re-releasing Pirates of Silicon Valley. And then I think it's Discovery is doing a tribute to Steve Jobs using Adam Savage and Jamie Hyneman from Mythbusters, and I think that's a great choice because these guys just epitomize creativity, and I think you need a creative person to detail the life of a creative person. So it's been a very emotional week, and I know you all have you found your ways to either celebrate or mourn. I know there's a few of you out there that weren't really on the Steve Jobs bandwagon, but I hope you do take a moment and just kind of remember that if it wasn't for Steve Jobs, we might not be at the technology level that we're at right now. So I don't know. It's a sad day. We knew it was coming. And eventually everybody's going to pass away, but it's just sad when it happens. So I'll leave it at that. Like I said, you've heard it all before, and this is my small little tribute to Steve Jobs. So thank you very much, Steve Jobs, for helping me keep my passion for over 39 years and create this show. I mean, there's so much that I can attribute back to him. It's crazy. So anyway, if you have any thoughts on it, feel free to Twitter me at Geekazine, email me geekazine@gmail.com, and we'll go from there. Ladies and gentlemen, I hate to end on somber notes like that, but it is the end of the show. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Jeffrey Powers. You can find everything over at www.geekazine.com. We'll be back next week with another Geek Smack. We got a lot of great tech news, a lot of great geek news right for you. So thanks a lot for watching, and we will see you then. Take care.